Now, I like to be prepared before I chat to any of the guests on the show, but the next one's been a little bit difficult. There are some social media accounts and a YouTube profile, but they all tell me that the next band that we're looking at is a 6-piece reggae band that plays originals. Oh, and they are also from Bedfordshire in the UK. Not really much to go on, and aside from listening to their EP Information Overload, released in October 2020, I know very little about them. Good news is, though, that they have kindly offered to answer some questions for me. Steph and Rob are with me on Skype for a chat. Hello.
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 Let's talk about the band and its history, because, as I said, I've not been able to find out too much about you. So, who's in the band? What's the band about? Where are you coming from? What have you done? Is this your first EP? So many questions. Tell us about yourselves.
So we are Rebel Vibe. We're, as you said, a 6-piece reggae band based in Bedfordshire. First, let me introduce the members very quickly. There's Rob. He's the singer, saxophone player, and he also plays the guitar. Then we've got Nick, the bass player. Then Wag, who's a drummer. Sean, who plays the keyboards and the melodica. Mac, who's a guitar player, and then myself, Steph. And I sing. The band, as it is now, started about, I would say, 18 months ago. And Mac, the guitar player, is our latest addition because we were looking for a guitar player. That was at the start of 2020.
Yeah, we was, weren't we?
Just
you got in touch with us sort of just as the lockdown sort of came into place, the first one.
Yes, and that was very difficult in that lockdown. Yes, as I said, it was a very testing time, but despite this, we managed to stay productive during the first lockdown. For example, we created our first track called Crisis 19. The idea started with Rob, I think, yes?
Yeah, obviously, because of everything that's going on, it's a good way to write music, using the current crisis as an influence to the song Crisis 19, which I put together on the acoustic guitar, then presented it to the band, and obviously the band is wonderful and amazing and creative. Yeah, Sean put everything together, and Mac, who we'd never met before, participated in the creation of Crisis 19, which ended up getting played every day, wasn't it?
Yes, I would say every day on an internet, because we sent the track to an internet radio in Holland, and that song was played every day on the radio,
fantastic.
3 months, yeah.
Yes, for months and months. So, because I remember at the time we were all working from home, obviously we were not able to meet up, so everything was done online, and whenever we were working from home, whenever we could hear the song being played on the radio, we would just send a message on band chat.
Oh my god, that song's on again. That's great.
Yes, and it's weird to hear yourself on the radio for the first, anyway, for myself for the first time, because the other members of the band, they're all very experienced compared to me.
Done a lot of stuff, haven't they?
Yes, they have. And you too, you've done quite a lot of stuff as well.
Aw, massaging each other's ego, very nice. So as far as the band's history individually, have you all been in separate bands before and it's now culminated in Rebel Vibe, or how's it worked?
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, if you look at Sean, Wag and Nick, I think they were punk bands. They were in punk bands, weren't they? I know Wag was in a band called Sick on the Bus, which was
great name.
It was big in the day, wasn't it?
Yes,
I'm pretty sure he got on Radio 1 Extra, and he travelled the world with that band.
Oh, right.
Yes.
Okay.
And then they Fantasize. There was a band called Fantasize, which was like a dub reggae kind of band, which Sean, Nick and Wag were in. They were in that for a few years. I'm sure there was another band there somewhere.
Yeah,
and then you got Mac.
Sure. Yeah.
Then you got Mac, who's he's like an indie rock reggae guitarist. He's got another band that he plays in. He's been in that band for like 25 years
for a long time,
or something like that. And he's played a lot of big gigs and stuff like festival, playing music on ferries, and also he's done a lot. So the band are very experienced musically, for sure. And then me, I mean, I was in a band called Due to Loss, which was an indie band when I was a little bit younger, which we done all right. We got on BBC Introducing, and we were working with Pablo Cook out of The Clash. He was the percussionist for the Clash, and he was the one producing and editing the music at the time. So yeah, we've got quite a bit of experience behind us.
Between all of you, definitely. Yeah.
You're in a choir.
Well, okay,
yes. Don't play it down. You still
okay. I was when I was very young. I was in a choir back home, like a gospel choir. So I used to sing a lot of harmonies. That's what I'm doing at the moment with the band. Actually, I do a lot of
harmony queen. She's the best. Honestly, I've never heard anyone. She can harmonise over anything. Seriously, she's great.
Yeah, so I do the singing, but in terms of experience, I don't have as much obviously as the other guys, definitely not. But it's a nice learning curve though to be with the guys, definitely.
I can imagine. And also, you are the first person to come forward with the first T-shirt design for Rebel Vibe. Harmony Queen on the front.
Yeah, there we go. Fantastic. That's a good idea.
Yeah, we should do that.
Definitely. Absolutely.
Brilliant.
Rebel Vibe's Harmony Queen.
My cut is 20%. It's non-negotiable. Let's look to the music, shall we? You've already talked about the song already. It's the first one I've got queued up ready to go. Would you like to introduce it?
Yes, so this first song, so that's actually the second version of it that we did, because the first version we did was in our home studios, but then we went to, when the lockdown, the restrictions were lifted a bit more, we went to Far Heath Studio in Northamptonshire to record Crisis 19, and this is the song we're going to play for you now.
Offbeat Reggae Radio with Rebel Vibe, Crisis 19. Now, a very chilled start to our introduction into Rebel Vibe. You've touched on it already, that it's kind of about the lockdowns and pandemic. Can you tell us a bit more about Crisis 19?
I guess the song's kind of like putting the message out there, the way that everything is. Not everybody uses social media. I mean, I personally don't use social media. I mean, the other guys do, but, you know, it's kind of like saying, I'm here, don't worry. Everything's going to be fine, basically. The second verse sort of relates to, so 2020 was going to be a big year for Rebel Vibe as far as like getting out and playing gigs, and we had the River Festival in Bedford set up, didn't we? Which was obviously cancelled. Yeah, it was kind of like a message to say, don't worry, we're still here, we're not going anywhere. 2021 will be, you know, the year. Push the music out there. We want people to hear what we've got, and we've got a lot to give. So yeah, it's along the lines of that.
Understood. Okay. Well, the past year has been destructive to the music industry, let's be honest, and not just because of the pandemic either. You got Brexit to thank for not being necessarily able to tour over in Europe anymore, which is fabulous news for the music industry over in the UK. I mean, it's been weird for everybody for multiple other reasons as well. But talk about the process of releasing what I believe is your first EP, isn't it, during the global pandemic?
Yes. So it's when the restrictions were lifted a bit more. So we went to the studio in Northamptonshire to record the first EP. So in terms of the choice of songs, there were a few songs that we'd created.
We've got about like 25 songs to sort of whittle down. 6 of the strongest songs that we've got, including 2 brand new ones in there, which Mac obviously played his part in, which was good.
Yes.
You know, considering we only ever met him once before we went into the studio, I think, didn't we?
Yeah.
As the restrictions were lifted. Yeah,
as we all know, 2020, it's been very challenging in terms of gigs, because we had a few things booked, but they all got cancelled. But what did happen, though, I think it was in October, we were lucky to play for an outdoor reggae event organised by Blender that was in Bedford.
Yeah. Brew Point in Bedford,
Yeah, so we did that, and that was amazing, because obviously we spent months and months of not being able to, to play our music, and then all of a sudden in October we had a little window of
hope.
Yes,
it was like a light, a big light that opened up in front of us.
Yeah, it was. Really good. Yeah,
but
also, it's not been all doom and gloom for us, because of the situation. Obviously, we were not allowed to go to the studio, we're not allowed to rehearse or anything, but we still use that quiet time to compose, to write new material. We did about 6 or 7 new songs in the last few months, and we do hope to record these new songs at some point in the studio in 2021.
Good stuff.
Really hopeful.
Good stuff. Now, with 25 odd songs, what made you go for the EP route rather than a full album?
Time and money.
Yeah.
All right, fair enough.
It's really expensive to go to the studio, and I mean, we accumulated quite a bit of money in 2019 from doing some paid gigs, so we used that money to fund the EP that we have now. But yeah, we'd love to have done more. Definitely, there was a few songs that we didn't do, which we can look forward to doing on the next one.
Yes, exactly.
So it's not that they're not all strong, it was just finances.
Finances, mainly, definitely.
And time as well, because some of us were still working, and we were not allowed to book loads of days to go out to the studio. So for us it was mainly weekends, and it takes a long time to set up, and then you don't manage to record a lot of songs just in one weekend. So time and money.
Yeah, the two evils of trying to produce anything that you enjoy doing.
Absolutely.
Believe me, I know. Right, let's play the next song of yours. Which one have you chosen?
Okay, our next song is called Information Overload.
The track is Information Overload. The band is Rebel Vibe, and it is track 2 on their EP. Now, with many bands and artists turning to the virtual world to keep themselves sane and release their music, can I ask what Rebel Vibe's plans are for 2021, if we are allowed to have any?
Okay, so 2021 hopefully could be a fairly big year for us as well. We're hopefully going to record some more tracks. The one gig that we have got sort of penciled in the diary is the Mellow Festival, which is up in Worcestershire, is it?
Yes.
Somewhere in Worcestershire?
Yeah.
For the end of May on the bank holiday weekend. The headlining act for that on the main stage, which is what stage we're playing, is Joss Stone.
Oh, nice.
So it's a really, really big gig for us.
Mm-hmm.
She's actually in a reggae supergroup herself, did you know?
Oh, I didn't know that.
No, I didn't know that either.
They're called Super Heavy, and it's got Mick Jagger, Joss Stone, and a bunch of other musically inclined people in there as well. Oh, Damian Marley. Yes, he's in it too. Sorry.
Oh, well,
how could I forget Damian Marley?
That would have been good.
Hang my head in shame.
Great meeting him backstage.
Yes, that would have been great. You might not have survived.
I think Trevor Nelson, I think he's on the bill. I'm sure he is. And Swing Out Sisters is the other one.
Oh, nice. Okay. Well, it sounds like quite a cool lineup to slot yourselves into.
Absolutely. So yeah, we've got that to look forward to. I don't think we've got anything else sort of penciled in at the moment. We don't know what's going to happen. I just pray to God that the end of May we're out of this madness and we can get out there and perform in front of a good crowd.
Absolutely.
Yeah, that would be amazing.
Absolutely. Otherwise, in 2021, maybe you can turn to the avenues that other bands have gone to and just start doing things virtually and online and getting people to PayPal tips and that kind of thing. I've seen that by so many bands, quite big ones too, actually.
Yeah, they seem to all be doing that, don't they?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that might be.
Yeah, it's definitely an option. I think if we don't come out of it soon, we're gonna have to think about doing something like that.
So, with every band that appears on Offbeat Reggae Radio, we're going to put a page on the Offbeat Reggae Radio website for you, and people can pop there. And if you've got stuff on Spotify, which I know you have, and stuff on YouTube, which I know you have, I'll include those bits and bobs on the page, as well as links to your social media portals as well. So if people have liked what they hear, they can most definitely find out more, particularly as I couldn't find out that much at all. But very kindly, you've said you'll send over a bio, which is great, and maybe we can be the source of Rebel Vibe information until you get yourselves a website up.
Yes.
That'd be brilliant, yeah.
Cool, so nearly done, and now the chance to show us what you're into. I asked for a bunch of tracks either as an influence or music that you think that the Offbeat Reggae Radio audience should listen to. What did you choose and why?
So I chose Gregory Isaac, My Only Lover. This song, personally for me, it's a song that I used to hear my dad play when I was a kid. My dad was a DJ for 50 years, playing Motown, Northern Soul and reggae, so I was brought up listening to reggae weekly, every day, when my dad sat with his deck set out in the kitchen and, his 17,000 records sort of laying about everywhere and him sorting out the set. But Gregory Isaac, My Only Lover, was a song that I used to love as a youngster. And I still love him now. Gregory Isaac's epic. He's a great reggae artist. That's the reason why I picked that song.
Awesome. We'll get that on for you. Thank you very much for chatting to Steph and Rob from Rebel Vibe. It's been lovely to have a chat.
Thank you, Andy. Nice one, mate. Thanks for having us.